Yeah, yeah. Took the whole team to the promised land. Rest in peace to my father, man. Wish he could have seen the plan.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Two Man Game Podcast. This is episode 18. Feels like this is episode 50, man. Like we've been doing this for a long time. Again, we've come a long way, come a real long way.
It's been like about a year, probably.
Yeah. Hey, we're still going. We're still going. Hey, this show we got some Draymond Green talk. That's obviously sweeping over the NBA right now. MLB, obviously got to get into that. Playoffs. Yeah. I'm not making predictions. I'm gonna be wrong every single one. So I'm not doing it.
No predictions.
Talk a little bit about the NFL. It's been good so far, and let's have a show.
Yeah. So this past weekend, man, wild card weekend, it was baseball Friday through Sunday, and mixed in with some college football, some NFL, some NBA preseason. It's been, no, exactly. It's every sports fan's dream this past weekend. So baseball, there's some pretty good games. I watched a 15-inning game, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, watching that long of a game, but it was good baseball. The Guardians beat the Rays 2-0 in their series. It was a good series. I believe they were the only home team. Yeah, they were the only home team to win the wild card. So shout out to the Guardians taking care of home field. That was pretty fun to watch. The Blue Jays had one of the biggest
one of the collapses of the century.
I mean, I saw some video talking about it today that was one of the biggest comeback victories in MLB history.
Yeah.
So down 8-1 going in, I believe it was the 5th inning, to come back and win that game and win the series. The Mariners, shout out to them. That was a hell of a series, and they're actually up right now against the Astros in the division series. So
that kind of propelled them a little bit.
Yeah,
got them going.
Definitely. The Phillies beat the Cardinals 2-0. They had a really good game one comeback. They're down 2-0, came back in the 9th inning. So props to them. I know you kind of had a feeling the Phillies were going to make some noise. So that's it's good to see. That's good to see. And then I think this might have been the upset of the whole wild card weekend, the Padres beating the Mets.
Yep.
I definitely didn't expect that. I mean, I might have been being a NL West hater. Don't want to see the Padres do good, but the Mets won 101 games.
Yeah,
like they were one of the best teams all year, and it just what's great about the base MLB playoffs and stuff like that is the best team always doesn't win. It doesn't go that way. It's about who's playing the best baseball at the time.
Best, what bats are working at the moment.
And pitching
is huge. Yep. Pitching is huge.
So we definitely saw that on full display this past weekend. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I was watching a little bit before we got on here and whatnot. So do you have any predictions or bold, what you think is going to happen? There's some good games. The Guardians and Yankees, that's a good series in the AL. Mariners and Astros, that's an AL West division rivalry. The Phillies and Braves, that game, Phillies took game one. I was thinking the Braves win this series, but it's only one game. So
it's one game.
And then we got the Padres and Dodgers tonight, where we weren't going to give predictions, but I'm going to say it, and I hate to say it. It's two Giants rivalries, but I think the Dodgers are going to beat the brakes off them.
Yeah.
I really do, but not.
I mean, again, you just never know with the baseball playoffs. I mean, I look back at that 2019 year where the Nationals won it.
Yeah,
they were underdogs every series. I mean, the wild card game, I think they were favored in the wild card game because back then it was just a one game in the you advance. They won that game, but they were down 3 runs in like the 8th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And Juan Soto hits a clutch, single, which turned into a triple because I forgot the right fielder at the time, but he, bobbled the ball in the outfield and all the runners scored. So then they move on and play the Dodgers, who had won, I believe, 100 games again.
Yeah, they were nice.
Beat them, and then they beat the cheating Astros that year. So they were underdogs pretty much every series after that wild card game, and they got it done. So it's all up to clutch hitting. It's always a hero every year. There's one guy. comes from nowhere and has, bats 400 and is driving all these runs in. So
Yeah, which you love to see. That's
yeah,
what's so great about the MLB.
it makes it that it's must see TV.
Yeah,
Because it's like, you have a first round series in the NBA, you're like, okay,
yeah.
this team
Most
is
of the
probably
time, the
most
better
likely,
team.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the underdogs sometimes do come out with a couple games, but most of the time you have that feeling where it's a 7 game series, the best team's going to win.
yeah.
So yeah,
What
that's
do
what's
you
good about baseball. Go ahead.
What do you think about the new format, like the new wild card format? What do you think about that?
I like it. I like an extended playoff.
Yeah,
Because again, the wild card game used to be 1 game, and there used to be only a 5 team playoff,
yeah,
right? So now there are more teams. They have a 3 game series in the wild card, so it's an extended playoff. I don't know how I feel about the wild card team getting all 3 games at home. I don't know
yeah.
how do
Probably
they.
just to get it
Yeah,
done.
it saves like there's less travel.
Yeah,
More
less
teams are
travel and
there. Yeah,
whatnot. That would have been tough for like the Padres to
right to
go
fly
cross
across the
country.
country. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I like the playoff. And so now we're getting into the 7 game series. So
Five first, then
five, and then
seven. Yeah.
NLCS is 7, and yeah. Got you.
My only concern, I want to see how the teams who had that bye, so the 1 and the 2 seeds, I want to see how they perform after about a week off, more or
Yep,
less.
yep.
So like I want to see how that all plays out. Like that the Braves, they lost today. They had that,
Mm,
couple days off. The Astros currently down right now when we're recording. I don't know, it was 6-3, but they're down. So like we'll see what the Yankees and then the Dodgers do as well
yep.
tonight. But I I'm a huge fan of baseball. I love watching baseball. I
Yeah,
watched a ton of
absolutely.
Giants baseball, even though they were losing, but I enjoy watching it. And I'll be definitely tuned into what happens with these playoffs. Once we get off here,
One
I'll
thing,
be.
one thing about the format that is crazy is how this is the second straight year. So last year it was the Dodgers and the Giants who are in the same division and they both won 100 games.
Yeah.
And the division winner obviously gets that bye, and the team that has 100 wins but didn't win the division is playing in the wild card. So
Yeah.
it's tough. It's
Yeah.
hard to do that.
Yeah. No, definitely winning 100 games and having to play a
Yep.
wild card game. That's pretty tough.
Insane. It's insane.
I'm sure they're pretty sick about it, but.
Yep.
All right, moving over to some NFL now. The Eagles continue to look like possibly the best team in the NFL, 5-0 after 5 weeks. The Chiefs look better than ever still, and the Bills look like the real deal. What do you think about what's been going on after 5 weeks in the NFL season?
Yeah, I mean, I got an upfront look at the Bills this past week. They beat us.
Oh God.
Um, you know,
What's his name? Josh Allen just 300 yards in the first half. What killed us though really was the two. It was two. We gave up 2 big plays to Gabe Davis for touchdowns. So
Yeah.
he had 2 catches, 140 some yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
I do like the fight that this is just on from my end. I do like the fight that Kenny Pickett showed. I don't know if you saw one of the Bills defenders. I forget who it was.
He pushed the guy.
Yeah, so he like dove into Kenny Pickett's legs, and Kenny like kind of pushed him back.
Oh, dude, I'm so fried. I was thinking of Pickens
Oh,
when you said that because
oh
that's why
yeah,
I said
yeah,
the
yeah,
push.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. I actually love what I saw from Kenny
yeah,
Pickett.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Pickett, yeah, he did push. He pushed the guy, and then the guy kind of grabbed his helmet, a la Mason Rudolph from last year with Garrett. I thought it was gonna be part 2, the way he was grabbing his helmet. But yeah, the NFL. I mean, it looks good right now. There was a lot of teams last week that were 2-2. So I think it was like 12 teams that were 2-2. So that shows you that any given weeks anybody can get beat unless you're the Eagles. But the Eagles have looked really good. Again, I want to see them play one of the top tier teams. I want to see them play the Bills. I want to see how they play the Chiefs or a team like that. So, but you play who's in front of you, and they've beaten everybody they've played. So
Yeah.
I do like the Eagles.
They got a pretty good game coming up. They play the Cowboys Sunday
Yeah, that's gonna be
night,
pretty good.
and
It's
the
gonna be pretty good.
Cowboys right now got, I
Speaking
would
of the
say, like
Cowboys,
a top three defense right now. Their defense
yeah,
is crazy. Cooper Rush,
Cooper Rush,
4-0.
man.
Who would have thought? Because I mean, if you would ask me once Dak got hurt, their season's over.
Yeah.
I don't see how they're gonna still be able to perform. But Cooper Rush, he's just not losing games for them, just making the right plays, being able to run the ball still with Zeke and Pollard, and their defense is just freaking insane.
Defense is insane.
Yeah, which it's like people like scoring. Obviously, in the NFL, you want to see a lot of touchdowns, all like that. But I love to watch like a good defense go to work, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking beforehand, like the Niners, what they've been doing these last couple of weeks. Like their defense is insane. Just seeing these guys fly around, the big hits, you're just like, I mean, watching it, I'm just thankfully I didn't play no football because I don't know how that would have been for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, the Cowboys, their defense looks really fucking good right now.
Yeah.
So I want to see how the Eagles will match up against their tough defense for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy because going into the season, we all had the AFC West as the powerhouse division. And now it's looking like the NFC East. They got 4 teams at 4-1 or better. Obviously, the Commanders are just, I don't know what's going on in DC, but
the coach blaming the freaking quarterback, not taking any blame.
But that was media. That was media. What he said was, so Ron Rivera, if anybody didn't see, they asked him a question, the Commanders coach.
What's the difference?
The difference between the other 3 teams and me, or in your team, the Commanders? And he said the quarterback. And now the media obviously want to cut that off right there and say, yeah, boom, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. But what he was trying to say was he hasn't had that same type of camaraderie that the other teams have had. Like the other teams have had their quarterbacks for a couple years now and have been able to develop. I mean, in Dallas, that's Cooper Rush was there last year. He was 2-0, I believe it was, or 1-0 as a starter. So he's been there. This is Carson Wentz's first year with Washington. So that's all he was saying was, I just need more time with my quarterback. That's all it is.
Yeah, sticking in the NFC East, the Giants, bro. Like, who would have thought 4-1? Like,
just beat the Packers and
London. Like,
yeah, like I mean, their defense stepped up huge. End of the game, stepped up huge. Daniel Jones. I mean, coming into this year, I think this might have been like his last shot to really prove people.
They've been patient with him.
Yeah, no, exactly. And right now he's not having those bad turnovers, those fumbles, those bad interceptions. It's just good to see that he's performing well. I mean, coming into the year, I didn't think he was gonna be what he's doing right now. But as of right now, I mean, Barkley, man, he's just he looks like his old self, which you love to see. Injuries suck. It happens in NFL.
Yeah.
A little too much. Obviously, it's a contact sport. So, but to see him coming back and just performing at such a high level, man, like you love to see it. I wish I had him on my fantasy team, but it's good to see, man. And the players, they're all buying into the new system.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's Brian Daboll. He's been a spark plug for them. Something that they haven't had in a while. Just like that. He's just watching him coach, he's just, that emotional guy. He just seems like a great leader. Like, in general.
Just fired up, like when they win and stuff like that, make a big play, fired up. Like those are the kind of guys you want to play for.
Yep.
So it's definitely translating. Coach. Yeah, and it's translating to their performance on the field.
Absolutely.
This weekend we also have another banger matchup: Chiefs and Bills. I mean, whenever you see those two teams step on the field, it's going to be electric.
You immediately think AFC Championship game. Right there.
No, definitely. The AFC stacked, but Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are just above everyone else right now. Coming in this year, I may be like I think Patrick Mahomes is so fucking good. Like it's insane what he does out there. But Josh Allen is like he's right there with him. Like you don't think so?
Oh, I said that.
No,
I was saying that. I said Josh Allen could make a case for being the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I'm still not there with I still think Patrick Mahomes hand down is like the best quarterback in the league, but I think Josh Allen is right there. No,
He's
right there with
literally right
I
there.
mean, to be honest, if you said he was the best quarterback right now, like I can't really argue it. Dude's been going insane these last couple of years, and he just keeps getting better and better. So I can't wait for that game this weekend. It's too bad that it won't. Well, it's the afternoon game, 4:25 game on the East Coast, but we have to watch the Broncos on Monday Night Football again. I am so sick and
This is
tired
this
of
is
watching them.
the fourth primetime game. What is the scheduling?
Dude, whoever made this schedule needs to be fired because I am sick and tired of watching these.
What was that last Sunday or Monday with that 12-9 game with them and the Colts? Was that Sunday or Monday?
That was Thursday. That was
Thursday. Okay.
And then they played the Niners on Sunday night, and then they played
the Seahawks on Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, first week. So yeah, I'm sick and tired of it.
Get them out of here, man.
Yeah, but they play the Chargers, so it's a division rivalry game. That should you would think it should be a good game, but like I'm really sick and tired of seeing the Broncos on TV, on national television at least. I mean, it's
I mean,
it's
another
rough.
thing sticking out to me though in the NFL is even the bad teams are making games interesting. And I'm gonna bring up the Atlanta Falcons. They can't catch a break against Tom Brady. Did you see that play? That roughing the passer play or call was the most horrendous call I've ever seen. And we've seen some bad calls in Tom Brady's career, Tuck Rule and a few others, but that was bad. I mean, it's like, what can you do? You literally wrapped him up around his waist and tackled him. And that's what?
I understand where the NFL is like trying to go with like player safety, concussions, all that good stuff. But like at the end of the day, football is a rough sport. Like
you can't have them out there playing flag football. I mean, we
like,
know the risk you play playing football. So.
Yeah, that's I think what makes the NFL just so savage is you know what you're getting yourself into. These are the biggest guys out there, like but every year I feel like it's just taking a step back for more offensive scoring and more like less hitting people, which is I mean they already eliminated like basically the kickoffs and stuff like that. Like you see touchbacks more than not
every time.
Yeah. So but yeah, the roughing the passer, that one was bad.
That was bad. That was bad.
Definitely the games, most games have been pretty good. Like even my Bears showed some heart. They were down 21-3, came back, took the lead.
Hey, the Jets are in games, man. They're 3-2.
3-2 right now. They're definitely showing some heart. I mean, they beat you all. But yeah, dude, like the Jets definitely a big surprise. My other surprise are NFC East teams, the Dallas and the Giants. I mean, we already got into them, but what they've been able to do 4-1 after 5 weeks. I mean, I don't think too many people had them where they're at. My biggest disappointments as of right now, the AFC West with the Broncos. So their offense just does not look good. Their defense looks great though. Their just offense is not clicking right now. So we'll see. I see a lot of people questioning if Russell Wilson's washed or not. I feel like it's a little too early to write him off, right? New system, new team, new, just a whole new, everything's new to him.
Right.
So I think it's a little too early to start saying that he's washed and whatnot.
Yeah, it's early to say that, but at the same time, it's inevitable. And is this the start of it? That's the question. That's the big question. I mean, he missed a wide open KJ Hamler in the end zone to win the game.
Yeah.
That Thursday night game we were talking about. So we'll see. I mean, only time will tell. Like I said, like you say, new system. Like I don't think he's washed just yet. He's still probably top 10 quarterback in the league, but we'll see.
Probably closer to 10 than he is 5. Like,
yeah, I mean, he at one point he was 5 for, pushing that. So we will see. I mean, we got the rise of a few good quarterbacks now. I mean, Jalen Hurts has proven he can, have an offense roll in.
It's a good time for young quarterbacks. Oh, just overall in the
yeah,
league.
overall, it's great.
There's a lot of young quarterbacks in the league, and then there's
Mhm.
like the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady still just looking better than ever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's great to see. I want to kind of preview this week the Bears. I saw a lot of talk about them and the Commanders being the Thursday night game, how it's a terrible game and whatnot, especially after this last week. I'm looking forward to this game. Justin Fields looked really, really good against the Vikings. I think you tuned in right in the second
I
half.
did.
I think you were
Mhm.
he was 12 or 13 in the second half, and
Yep.
he looked better than ever. So
Yeah.
I'm the Bears they've been a second half team this year. Like that's when their offense has been able to start clicking and their defense actually starts holding shit down. They've only given up one touchdown in the second half this year, and
Yeah,
it was against the Vikings.
that's a great stat.
Yeah, so
Great stat.
I think the Bears are gonna show out though.
Okay, so they're gonna win the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I I would say the Commanders are the more desperate team right now. They're 1-4. Bears are 2-3, but you never know with the NFL, obviously. But I think the Bears could get it done. I'm sure
Yeah.
this episode
Well,
will
they
be
should.
dropped before, so
I think they'll be favored in that game. So
probably if anything like a 1 or 2 point favorite. Like
right.
I don't think it would be anything more than 3 points.
But nonetheless, a favorite. All right. So let's see what Justin Fields got. Let's see what he brings to the table and see if he gets it done.
Yeah, like this past loss against the Vikings, like some losses just feel really bad. But
Mhm.
when like the Bears are a young team, they weren't expected to do really anything this year. My whole thing is just Justin Fields developing, and I got to see that this past week.
Mhm.
So I'm just keep
Yeah.
stacking, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But like that loss, I was like, okay, like you played a good Vikings team. The Vikings are the number one in the NFC North right now. So
Mhm.
but just to show competitive spirit and stuff like that, being able to come back shows a lot about the team and the coaching. So we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you want to talk about your Steelers or your
I'm in a good place right now. I think when you talk about developing, I think that's all I want Kenny Pickett to do this year. I don't want any setbacks. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want I want him to play the rest of the season out and just go through the struggles. Because this year we have the hardest remaining schedule. So obviously at 1-4, rookie quarterback, hardest remaining schedule, we may win only 3 games this year. So
dude, it's looking rough. You guys have
it's
like
bad. It's
I mean, I
tough.
texted you a couple of days ago, like you guys may be
Yeah.
like 1-7 after 8 weeks,
Yep.
bro.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely. And 0-8, probably 0-8. We can't even beat, we lost to the Jets this past,
two
2 weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
So anybody can beat us right now. And so like I said, I just want Kenny Pickett to develop. I want, TJ Watt to come back, and actually I don't want him to
You
come back.
might
I
as well
want
just have
yeah.
him sit and try to
Yeah.
get a good draft pick, I guess you
Yeah,
would.
I want him to just be ready and healthy for next year. And Kenny Pickett to have that rough year one under his belt and try to develop from there. So
I mean, I would say your offensive line just like hasn't been very good, but like you guys have all the pieces, good receivers. You got Najee Harris,
yeah,
who's been fucking killing me, killing my
yeah,
fantasy team.
yeah. Najee
But
hasn't been good either.
yeah,
He what I see from Najee, he's trying to take that, and I saw a bunch of people talking about this
the
too.
Le'Veon Bell
He's
approach.
trying to take that Le'Veon Bell approach of trying to find the hole. That's not Najee Harris's game.
Yeah,
And you got to stick to what you're good at, and that's exploding off the line and breaking that first tackle. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean
dude.
we got to get that line in order, and just got to keep Kenny Pickett healthy. I don't want him to have any setbacks. Like I
I'll
said,
just say one positive thing about the Steelers, but it's not from this year. When Le'Veon Bell, when he was like at his peak, bro, his running style was so fun to watch. Just like
yeah,
that patient, he was just
hmm
patient. Like, I mean, he was good for like 4 yards. It seemed like every carry, just
yeah,
like real patient with it. find the hole, get through, get some yards. Like, I mean, that's all you could ask for. But
yeah. I mean, those were good times in Pittsburgh, man. We had Big Ben rocking. We had Antonio Brown before Antonio Brown was who he is today.
Yeah.
And Le'Veon Bell. So I think we would call it the triple Bs, killer Bs, something like that.
Yeah, it's too bad those days are in the past, my friend.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on to some NBA. The season starts in a week today. I am so excited for this NBA season. I feel like this is one of those seasons where you really don't know who's going to win the title coming into the season.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into all that talk, what do you think about the whole Draymond Green, Jordan Poole practice punch? The punch heard around the world.
Punch heard around the world.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
So I'm gonna just take you through the process of thoughts when it all happened. So we get a tweet from I believe it was Shams saying there was an incident in practice, right? And most of the time, as you know, former athletes, we talked about this a little bit beforehand, an altercation that's gonna happen in the course of a season. Season is long. Guys guys are holding each other accountable. You never know what it could have been. Jordan Poole may not have been practicing hard enough, and we've heard talks of him acting different because he's he's about to get paid. So that might have been what it was. So Draymond took it, under his wing of saying, okay, I've won 4. I'm a veteran here. I'm the vocal leader of this team. I'm going to set you straight.
Yeah.
And so initially you think, okay, that's nothing. It happens all the time. I was thinking about all the other past incidents that happened with, LeBron and Mario Chalmers. Remember how those Heat teams would always yell at Mario? There's always an altercation with them, as the little brother, you know what I mean? So I thought it was something like that. Or we've heard stories of Steve Kerr and, Michael Jordan going at it in practice, right?
Yeah.
Michael punching him, and
it happens.
Yeah, they won the championship after that,
Yeah.
So that was the first thought. But then you see the video, and he tried to really take his head off.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that was the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. Like, I could understand. Draymond, push him back, do something, but don't try to punch the man.
Yeah.
In his jaw and try to look like he tried to break his jaw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When the report first came out, I mean, you and me were texting. I thought it was like, like a jab or something like that, or like maybe like a push to the face,
right.
Nothing like too serious. But then once that video came out and like he really tried to knock him the fuck out, bro.
Yeah,
Friday style. Like it was shocking to see. How I feel about the whole situation is like Draymond as the vet just got to be the bigger person in that situation. Like, some fighting is going to happen, but like, you don't want to see it taken to the point where like he dropped him, like at least in the video, he like rushed him too, but like he fell. Like, I mean, that's pretty like serious. I mean, we saw Bobby Portis break one of his teammates' jaws a couple years back.
Nikola Mirotic,
Yeah. Like, so like it happens, like fights are going to happen. Like, I don't think in my playing career, I've seen guys get into it pushing, but like never to the point where like one person's like on the ground after getting punched. So like, as the vet, I just like, I didn't like seeing that from Draymond.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's going to ruin their season or anything like that, because like their main goal is to win a championship, not be best friends off the court. So like, as long as you're able to come into work, do your work, your guys are all to collectively have one goal, and that's to win a championship, I don't see how it could be a problem. I think just the biggest problem is that video just being out there, out and about, people being able to see Jordan Poole get knocked out. Like, I mean, you just hate to see it. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, I'm really bad with like the secondhand embarrassment. Like you see something on a TV show, a guy's getting embarrassed. Like, I feel it. Like, I'm like, oh, like that sucks. So like when I saw the Jordan Poole video, I'm just like, oh man, like this is gonna be a meme for how long? People are gonna talk shit about it. It's just unfortunate. lot of Warrior fans are wanting Draymond Green to like get traded or waiting for him to leave to another team. They're saying LA Lakers, like that's been like the report. Trae Young said it, but I I would hate to see Draymond Green leave after something like this. Like
Yeah.
it just it breaks my heart to see it.
Yeah, it's like it's tough, man. Like that's. I wonder who leaked the video. Somebody clearly that was an internal employee, right? Somebody who works for the Warriors.
Yeah, I would
There's
think
no
so.
other way that video got out. So that guy got paid, and we'll see what happens. But I'm mad that it got out too because it could break a team.
Yeah,
It could.
yeah, no,
Um,
definitely. And I feel like so like yeah, we can move they can move on and we could think that it's good, they'll win some games, but then like once they hit like a rough patch in the season, lose 3 games in 4 nights or something like that. You
mm,
just lose a couple games and see how things boil over. Like
mm,
I'm just like I want to see how that all plays out because
yeah.
Draymond Green obviously is a fiery guy.
Hmm.
That's his best thing about him is his passion, what he
Hmm.
brings to the game. And I I'm just nervous to see what's going to happen. Like maybe one bad game, someone does something, he cusses Jordan Poole out, or vice versa. Like, how is that going to go? Like, how is that going
Yeah.
to work? So that's like my main thing about it.
Yeah.
It sucks to see like it, especially when it's like the team I root for, it just like you hate to see it. But I think if like any team could bounce back from it, it's a team like the Warriors.
Yeah.
So I'm not too concerned about it.
When was the
But
last time we saw drama from the two teams in the finals the year before like this in the off season? When was the last time we saw something like this?
I mean,
It's like off the court stuff, you know what I mean?
well, what year was it when J.R. Smith threw the soup on their assistant coach?
Um,
I mean, they had drama, and then like the Warriors had their drama with like Draymond Green and stuff like that. But
mm, it's
but
true.
but like for two things like this to happen, you don't see it happen too often. So
Yeah,
that's definitely like something to look at this season, how the Celtics handle their head coach not being there, and then the Warriors dealing with this fight and the
yeah.
drama between that. So sticking to the Warriors, who do you think will be the biggest threat in the West to them?
I mean, it's a few teams that come to mind just based on a talent perspective. Like, you got the Clippers who coming back healthy. Their bench is I mean,
Crazy.
is they're stacked.
Their bench could maybe be like a borderline 10 seed, like
Yeah.
maybe even like a little better, but definitely a
Hmm.
borderline playoff team.
Yep. So I mean, obviously the Clippers come to mind, and then the Nuggets come to mind with they're getting all their weapons back this year. Jokic had them as a 6 seed, I believe it was last year, without these guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, those two come to mind, and then I mean, you got those young teams that are a little scary when it comes to athleticism. You got Memphis still, who what did that went 6 last year, right? That series went 6 with and John Morant was hurt for couple of those games towards the end. And then like you talked about earlier in the year, the Pelicans, man, they're starting 5
Play with anyone.
combined with what they can bring off the bench athleticism wise. That's I mean, you think those Warriors, man, they getting old. Clay's what, 31, 32, Curry's 33, 34, something like that. So I mean, their stars are getting old, and these guys are just hitting their prime. So
Yeah, no, definitely a team like the Pelicans, like they have 3 guys who could be the best player
mhm,
on the court at any time. So
mhm.
they'll definitely be a problem for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, I would agree with those. Just obviously the main concern with Denver and the Clippers is health, like
Mhm,
because that's what plagued them last year. But
mhm.
I think a healthy Clippers team, man, they're gonna be
Yeah,
something else.
it's scary. It's
Yeah,
scary.
no, it's gonna be fun for sure. But moving on to the East, what are your thoughts about the East? I feel like the Bulls may take a step back with Lonzo being hurt. That's a
Mhm.
13, 5 and 5, 42% from three type of player. good defender. So I think the Bulls may take a step back out of like all like the playoff teams who were in last year. I think the 76ers are going to be better this year. So a full year with Harden and Embiid and
Right.
Maxey looks better than ever right now
Yeah,
in preseason.
but with Philly, man, Harden looks like his old self a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, he talked about dropping some weight and being, healthy with that hamstring. You know, obviously plaguing him for a while. Embiid is gonna be Embiid, and then you got PJ Tucker. We you know how we feel about PJ Tucker.
Yeah, love
We
PJ
love that
Tucker
guy.
on this podcast. We love
Love that
PJ
guy.
Tucker on
So
this podcast.
yeah, I mean, Philly looks like a good team. Obviously, you got the Bucks. They didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Only going to be hopefully healthier this year.
yeah, they just got to stay healthy. And I mean, you got the Celtics who improved their bench. I mean, I know Danilo Gallinari just tore his ACL, which is tough.
Yeah, during the summer, yeah, that
Yeah,
sucks.
but they picked up a vet. They picked up Blake Griffin, and they'll be back. So
yeah.
I think the East is more top heavy with like those top 3 or 4 teams. I mean, I think the Hawks will take a step forward.
The Cavaliers for sure too.
Didn't even mention the Cavs. Yeah, the Cavs will be. I like the Cavs a lot.
Yeah, I think you may be a little higher on the Cavs than I am. My whole problem is like a wing defender, like being in the East, especially right now. You got the KDs, you got the James Hardens, you got the Giannis's. You need a real big wing defender.
Yeah.
The Tatums, I don't think I said him, but Tatum, the Browns, you need a real big wing defender. They got all the size down low, which
That's
is
what I'm
great.
saying. They got size down low, so I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams will be shooting way more from the outside against them because of that.
Yeah.
And, but yeah,
Donovan Mitchell is going to be huge for them for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how he adjusts to not having to be that guy.
Yeah.
So maybe he can take a step forward on the defensive end of the ball.
Yeah, but Darius Garland is like he could play off the ball. He shoots the ball really good.
Yeah.
So that's I feel like it's a good pairing for him. It's gonna be fun to watch. Like a week away, baby.
Yeah,
let's get it.
It's here. It just happened so quick. I feel like
the
finals just ended.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but I mean, I'm just gonna enjoy it while we can, man. It's
absolutely.
This next week's gonna be great.
Absolutely. That's a wrap, everybody, for episode 18. You've heard that before. Obviously, we are the 2-Man Game podcast. Again, like I said, a lot of stuff on the plate right now. So basketball is beginning. Football is in full force. Baseball is getting down to the good parts. The NLCS, ALCS, in the World Series. But yeah, I mean, that's it for us. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and we'll be back with another one.